Hello and welcome to this video for Essential Math 40S students. This is going to look at fuel economy from your Vehicle Finance Unit Lesson 1. As gas gets more expensive these days, and it's dropped a little bit at the time of recording this video, but I'm sure it will go up again, it becomes important to pay attention to how much fuel your vehicle is using. And you might want to make a decision when purchasing a vehicle to buy a car that is a little bit more economical in its use of gas. In Canada, we measure fuel economy in liters used to drive 100 kilometers. We shorten that up to liters per 100 kilometers. So 100 kilometers is approximately the distance from downtown Winnipeg to Portage la Prairie. And what they do is they basically drive a car that distance and they look at how many liters of gas it used to go that far. This is different from the United States, who does it backwards. In Canada, we look at how much gas do we use to drive a set distance. In the States, they measure economy in miles per gallon, which is using a set amount of gas, how far can you go? So please note that when you're in Canada and looking for a car, better fuel economy is actually lower, right? Less liters used to drive the same distance. So a fuel economy of 15 liters per 100 kilometers is not as good as, say, a fuel economy of 8 liters per 100 kilometers. Okay. In this course, you're going to be asked to calculate a vehicle's fuel economy or use a given fuel economy to answer a question. So I've put two examples on here, one of each of these types of question. In example 1, we have Macy just drove her car from Winnipeg to Calgary, which is a distance of 1,350 kilometers. She used 128.25 liters of gas. What was the fuel economy of her car on this trip? You want to pay attention to what they're asking for. Here they're asking for the fuel economy. We know fuel economy is some number of liters per 100 kilometers. So we're going to set up a proportion. I don't know how many liters she used to go 100 kilometers, but I know this is the setup for fuel economy, liters per 100 kilometers. And I know that in her example, she used 128.25 liters of gas, so we put that on top where liters is. And she drove 1,350 kilometers, so we put that on the bottom of this fraction where kilometers is. And we're going to use cross multiply and divide to solve this proportion. Your teacher might have shown you a different way. You might want to check with your teacher about the exact calculation of this. I am going to multiply 100 times 128.25 and then divide by 1350. I'll just write it down here. 100 times 128.25 divided by the left out number, the 1350. Okay, so when I go, and I'm just working on my calculator on the side here, when I go 100 times 128.25 divided by 1350, I get 9.5, which means the fuel economy of her car is 9.5 liters per 100 kilometers. That's the first type of question when you're calculating the fuel economy. In the second example, you're given a fuel economy. So here we have the Levy family wants to drive from Winnipeg to Halifax, which is 4,150 kilometers. They know their van's fuel economy is 11.5 liters per 100 kilometers. So how much gas will they use on this trip? Well, again, I'm going to start writing down the fuel economy. We'll get to B in a second. They get 11.5 liters per 100 kilometers. This is liters and this is kilometers. Just like in the first slide, I am using my fuel economy first, but I know how many liters are used, so I'm filling it in. They know the trip they want to go on is 4,150 kilometers, so I put that on the bottom where kilometers go, and then an X on the top because I want to know how much gas are they actually going to use. Again, I'm going to cross multiply and divide. Here's my cross multiply, divide by 100. So I get X is 11.5 times 4150 divided by 100. And after doing that on my calculator, which you can't see, but I'm just typing that in, I get 477.25. And that is, if you look at the X is liters, that is liters. How much gas will they use on this trip? 477.25 liters. And then if gas costs 95 cents a liter, how much will gas cost for this trip? Well, when you go to buy gas, it's just the number of liters you purchase. That's how many liters they need, obviously in more than one fill-up, times 0.95. And the answer for B would be $453.39, rounding to 2 decimal places. That's my answer for B. So again, you're either going to have to calculate someone's fuel economy or use the fuel economy in another question. Thanks for watching the video.